The speed at which information travels directly affects the perception of time. Time is measured in terms of that are based upon the experience of those who experience it. 1 second is 1 second to someone who experiences 1 second as 1 second. But a conscious living system that processes information at a different rate may perceive 1 second as a different form of time because of the speed at which information travels to it. There is the theory that individuals today, like individual persons today, are biologically aging faster than their chronological age might otherwise suggest. Because of the mass instant communication capability of the internet. You know, TV shows and movies used to operate on a different time scale. As recently as 10 to 20 to 30 years ago, you might have 12 episodes in a season and a whole year between seasons, but a week separates each episode. But now, of course, you're seeing whole seasons released all at once to binge upon, and then the next season comes out only a few months, less than a year later. Fashion companies that used to do maybe 4 releases a year, because seasonal collections were seasonal, based on the 4 seasons. But now you're hearing about how one after the other, after the other, after the other, practically month to month, or even week to week in some cases, there are new collections and new series being released in that regard. And it is because the speed at which information travels is directly affecting the passage and perception of time. Where the ability to communicate between two individuals used to be restricted to visual radius, but then that eventually became by, location via post systems. But this took time to travel. Then you eventually had your telegram poles that allowed much quicker, but there were still stations that had to be set in place and that had to be relayed from. But then now you have a wireless ability to communicate with anyone on the planet at any given point in time, and thus more people are able to talk to each other than ever before. And so time is happening at a faster rate than before. I'd be willing to bet that my own biological age is a fair amount higher than my chronological age. Because the amount of time, the sheer density of time and event, is much more compressed and much more one after the other, after the other, after the other, than has ever been seen before within human history. Time is happening at an accelerated rate because the speed of information is so much faster. It is, you are able to see something happening on the other side of the planet as it's happening. This is something that has never been capable of happening before. And as a result, time is happening at a quicker rate. The, history is happening at a much quicker rate because the speed at which information travels directly affects the perception of time, and more time is happening now than ever has before. It's the phenomenon of have you ever felt like today felt like 5 days? This is becoming every day because every day you have so many conscious systems that are all existing all at once, but the difference is whether or not they could communicate their experiences with each other, let alone at such a quick rate. And because of this, more time is happening in less time. Because the speed at which information travels does directly influence the perception of the passage of time.